Hi everyone, this is Richard. In this video, we are going to go over case and switch. This is a conditional type of statement. And by the way, I'm doing a little jumping around. I'm just going to go over some cleanup here and just hit some points where I did not touch upon in the beginning, and I think it might be a good idea just to review them. Okay? So case and switch is a different type of conditional. Conditional, one of the other types of conditionals being if-else types of statements. This is basically you don't need to use case and switch, it just makes things easier. So we'll start off just making a variable itself, person equals cat, switch, the key word. Switch means whatever is in the parentheses, the variable person, whatever value that is, look at the brackets right inside of here. Case is what possibilities the value for person could be. So person could equal dog, cat, bird. So I'm just going to put dog inside of here. And it says, so switch. One case is it could be dog. And you have a colon right here. Remember I said colon has a couple of different purposes. This is one purpose right here. It's going to take that value. And after that, so the value that you could potentially have, colon, and whatever you want to do after that. Here I'm going to put a print statement, okay? Print, and then you have a break after that. This could be a number of different values, but we'll go over that. Case, it could be a cat. It could be a bird. Same thing. And at the very end, we're going to have a default. So if it doesn't equal any of these things, it hits the default, okay? So in the first case of dog, you'll have a print statement. You can do anything here. Again, you could be as complicated as you want to, but you're going to only hit one of these values, either this or this or this or this. So it's, again, like an if-else statement, right? So person type, so it's going to call the function. It's going to return a string. So the person type function, the parameter is type, and it's going to be type of a string. So the type variable is a string, and it will return you are a whatever this is person. Okay, so we're printing this function with the argument person right inside here. Here I could put no, actually that's a argument, so I can't really I don't think that'll actually work. I guess not really, because you can't really assign it itself. It's going to be the value of this whatever that is. So person right here, and it's going to run, and we're going to say you are a dog person. Okay, so if I put other values, cat, you're a cat person. If I put something else like bat, okay, so it's not a bird, not a cat, not a dog. What's it going to run? The default is you don't like pets. Okay, few things to keep in mind. Number one, you don't have to put a default right inside here. You don't even have to put a break at the very end, okay? Because it's the end of it. You don't need to break it. But default, if you don't have that, it's just not going to run, right? Because it doesn't have all the circumstances. If you have if else, but no else if, but no else at the very end, that's the default. There's no default right here. The purpose of the case and switch is it's a set amount, and it's also a little bit easier to read. So it's just an easier situation than in if-else statements. Here, for example, you can have break. If we delete that, it'll give us an error. You should have a break, continue, return, or throw. Okay, so break, in almost all cases, it'll hit that value right inside of here. It'll hit that value. And by the way, this value here can be anything. It could be a string, a integer. It could be anything in and of itself, okay? You just have to match it right inside here. If this is an integer, then it has to be an integer, right? After every case, and what you're going to do right inside of here, you do need to have some type of ending. Break it for the majority of times. Return would only be if it's in a function by itself. So, for example, if you have like a function called pets. Okay, and so then this would be like string pet, I guess. And then you'd say switch pet. And then you would say case colon say case, I'm sorry, dog, and then it would say return hi doggy, or something like that. So only in the context of a function would you really use a return. Okay, but once you hit the return, it automatically breaks. It doesn't see anything beyond it, right? The here, so case return throw. Throw is if you actually have an error. By the way, continue. I don't really know what that is. I've tried to read and see what the heck that even means in this context of a case switch. I really don't know. It's completely not clear to me. If anybody does know, can you please put a comment in the comment section? Because I'd really appreciate that too. I'm sorry about that. How about if you have case bird and let's see, case bat, and then you can say throw that is not a pet. Okay, and we could put bat right here. What a throw basically is, I think I mentioned that before, but if I haven't in previous videos, throw basically means it's something that you should not be seeing at all. There's an error in the code. So you put these in the code to tell you, it's not so much for the user, it's to tell you, hey, if you ever see this, you have some error in your logic and you shouldn't have seen it. So in other words, it should not have been possible to put the value bat inside of here. That shouldn't have even been doable. But the fact that you see it and you throw an uncaught, an exception, a problem with the code itself, it'll reveal that is not a pit. Okay, so it's just a way of telling you how to debug your code in the future. And again, a small program like this, completely useless itself, but in really complicated things in the future, it can be extraordinarily helpful. And you'll see some programs that are just littered with these throws, these exceptions types of commands. And that's very, very helpful for debugging when things get complex and out of hand. Okay, so we have that, and let me think here. In addition to that, let's see, bat, break, and I think that's it for the most part. If you put in any value inside of here, it'll actually run. You like birds, so you can actually do anything. Notice here, this is the, because I wanted persons, not just person S. I don't know if I've gone through that before, but just in order to make it so you can have the S right on top of it, you can always make it look like that. You can do it the other different ways also. All right. So nice and easy when you have a set amount of things, case, switch, case, break after each one. And that's it for this video. Thank you very much.